All right, so we're on to video 3 already, and we're looking at steps 3B, which is preparing the surfboard, and then step 4, which is design satisfaction, all part of the design portion of the Surf's Up truck. So project 3, video 3, preparing the surfboard. All right, when last we left off, you had placed all of your motifs. You removed all of the waste paper off the back of them, and you've simply just kind of finger pressed them down. It's at this stage now that we need to prepare the surfboard. And the surfboard is made from these two portions. You have the board itself. I'm going to go ahead and take the waste paper off right now. But then you have the motif over the board, and it's kind of a mandala or like a sun mandala, and so that's what we're talking about there. So we'll probably end up picking that back up, but I'm going to stick it there for right now. It's easier for you to see on the wrong side of this that this is made up of actually 3 different parts. First of all, you can take the entire sun away from the backing, or from the back piece, or the whole piece, and you have this leftover piece. You can decide if that's trash or if you could actually do something fun with it. So for this second, I'm going to set it aside. The other piece that you're going to remove from this is this inner swirl. And again, I'm doing it from the back just because it's a little easier to see. And this piece comes out. Again, you decide, can I do something fun with it? Do I have some imagination, or does that become trash? I'm going to take a second and pick the big piece back up. If you had a little piece of quilter's cotton or something to put it on, if you remove the waste paper and put the square down and then put that down in the center of it and stitched it, that would be a really cute motif of some kind. You could maybe even trace a circle around it and cut it into a circle, and maybe have a little scissor fob or a keychain, something creative that you could do with that. So I'm setting all of that aside. Then I have the entire sun. Kind of has, you know, almost a stylized question mark in the center, and then it has these interesting rays. I'm going to go ahead and remove the waste paper from that. Again, I fold it in half, and that kind of releases it. And then go slow so that it gets all your pieces up. If it leaves any white behind, you know you still have some waste paper to get rid of. That reveals the sticky side. Remember, see it sticking to my hand. And then I've got to place it on the surfboard. The problem with that is it's bigger than the board. So this is where I want you to use your imagination. Do you want to put it like that, and then simply trim away these tiny 3 rays here, and you've got it exactly even with the board up there? You know, I think that actually looks pretty good. I think it's a little different than how I originally placed it, but I like that it maintains the circle down here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go a little bit different each time I stitch, especially if I stitch multiples of something. It's unusual for me to actually do them exactly the same. I'm liking this a lot. We'll have to treat this edge a little different where it comes, the red comes right, or the coral comes right out to the yellow, but it's not any big deal. Like I said, I think I like that. So I'm going to pick this up and kind of finger press it in place. And it looks good. It looks like there's room for me to stitch in plenty of places. And then I'm going to turn it over, and you can see right there, hopefully, what I need to cut away. So I'm going to carefully, please hold your scissors perpendicular to the flat edge, meaning the flat edge of this or the flat edge of your table. They go like this. Don't twist them either way. You're not going to get an accurate cut. Try to keep them very, very perpendicular to the edge of what you're cutting. You can always undercut them a little bit. It's just that if you cut in too far, you can, but it isn't easy to replace what's missing. All right, so it's a little jaggedy there, so what I may end up doing is just kind of pushing it down. I'm just kind of moving it with my hand. See how much farther it went away? I just kind of scooched it down a little more. And again, my best cut is going to be from the wrong side. I'm going to cut back through again and trim a little more away. You may get it perfect the first time, but I'm going to encourage you not to cut so much that we can't fix it. All right, so that's what I've got. That's how I have mine looking there. And then you can decide, you know, do you want it that close to the edge? We could shift the whole truck if you wanted to pick it up and move it, or is it going to kind of look like that where it's outside a little bit and then there. I had this one exactly even down here. Again, I could reposition my whole truck, but I'm not going to. I'm okay if it's kind of outside the truck bed a little bit and then over the top there. So I'm going to just leave it like that. And I believe that is all our motifs. And it's at this point that I want you to literally walk away. Walk away, maybe even take a smartphone photo of what you've got so far and say to yourself, do I love it? Does it look like I've got the same amount of empty space here and here? Does it look like I have the same amount of empty space here and here? Do I want to reshift the whole truck down a little bit and over to the left? You decide, but I really do want you to stop the video, walk away, look at it again after you've been away from it for 5 or more minutes, and be real sure you love it the way it is, and then we'll move on to the next step, which will be steam fusing it in place.